What's up, fellow people? Today we're going to be putting in some spotlights to replace this pendant over there. I think we're going to do 2 rows of 4, so 8 spots there, and then we're going to have one in the centre of this worktop here. This is a typical domestic electrician's problem. People's furniture everywhere, so the first job we're going to do is move everything. Bit of luck, the existing lights fed from the switch, so I haven't got to spend time in the roof making off a joint. Hopefully I can cut the holes and drag the cable to one of the holes and then daisy chain off that from there. Well, here's the roof space, and if you look down here, I don't know why, but hopefully you can see that they've put some battens about 300mm apart, all the way going along to the end. I don't know why they've done that. So they've left a gap underneath here. So instead of screwing straight to the rafters when they were installing the plasterboard, they put these battens down to screw the plasterboard to that. It gets a neater finish, I suppose, and it a lot straighter. But I mean, how many times have they done this? I've only ever seen it done once before. I mean, it's just typical that they've done it here. Every single time I've installed downlights, where if I make a mistake I can screw the plasterboard back because they're gonna plaster and decorate the ceiling, they've never done this. But the one time I've got to be careful and not damage decorations, this is a story. These things here are an absolute must when you're measuring out distances between walls. Long gone are the days where the measuring tape is collapsing when I'm trying to measure. Now what I'll do is just put this up here, shine, press, and I've got my measurement. Laser level, another absolute must when you're doing this work, because I don't want to put a chalk line across the ceiling because the ceiling's finished. They don't want to decorate here afterwards. Oh yeah. Okay, I've gone up in the roof space and dragged all the wires through, so now they're ready to wire, which is great. But one thing is missing: entertainment. You have to have some good tunes for this type of work, otherwise it's boring as. So let's get going. So there you have it, 7 more downlights installed to the other 10,000 I've previously installed, so I think that makes 10,007. on the journey so far. Just a quick note to say what brand of downlight I used, and I'm not endorsed by this product at all. It's just a nifty little product that I like and want to give a shout out to. So the downlight I used this time, usually for some circumstances I'll use a integrated LED fitting, specifically for landlords, because it's easier for them to have a warranted light fitting that lasts 5 to 7 years, so they haven't got to keep calling tradesmen out to change bulbs when their tenant, for whatever reason, refuses or says they can't do it. So it saves them money on that front. But usually I'll always say to people to get a normal GU10 can and put a LED bulb in there, because they're easy maintenance. If one does pop, they can change the bulb themselves. But the product that I've used today is the Aurora EN-DLM981X. They're just like any other GU10 can, to tell you the truth, but one big difference how they differ from the rest, and that is you can lay insulation over the top of them, which is brilliant, because it's the only fitting I've seen where you're allowed to do that with an LED bulb, but you should be fitting LED bulbs anyway. You shouldn't be fitting halogen fittings anymore. But with an LED bulb in place, you are allowed to put insulation over the top of these, which is great. Most people, when they were installing these in the past, just used to rip a load of the insulation around where the downlight is going to give it a bit of breathing space, and that's fine in a way. But I've had a client before where they specified that they wanted fire hoods around, or some sort of material like that around the already fire rated downlights to keep the insulation away from them. And this is just a little nifty product to say, well, hang on, these can have insulation laid over them, so I haven't got to worry about that. Because fitting hoods or some sort of fire rated frame around downlights is just a pain in the backside. So with this, it's just a nice little nifty product to just put in there and forget. So if you're an electrician installing downlights, I would be on the lookout for these Aurora EN-DLM981Xs, because they're brilliant.